Southern Hospitality is a horror story about how easy it is to be destroyed by a bad man. This show is interesting because it's randomly one of the most queer shows on Bravo, where we have three queer characters with like real storylines talking about their queerness, but we also have Emmy losing her mind, right? The entire season has been very Southern Gothic. It's Flannery O'Connor, it's Eudora Welty. Like, these people are trapped. Gothic people are usually trapped within a house, right? And we're using Gothic to refer to like the literature genre. But on this show, people are trapped within A, the cages of their own ambitions, and B, in these horrible relationships, right? In my previous videos about the show, where I talk about Emmy in this playlist, Bravo, 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 I've talked about how Emmy is absolutely willing to go the distance on this. Like, she will lose herself, and she has lost herself completely in this horrible relationship. Will is openly cheating on her in law school, and instead of like telling the truth and being like, no, we're open, like, I don't care that he's cheating on me, I just want to get married and have babies, because I guess it is the South, so she can't like say what the truth is. She's just completely putting her head in the sand and is like, I am willing to look absolutely manic and nuts on this television before I leave this relationship. Seasons 1 and 2 saw the exact same thing with Maddie, where she was dating Trevor, who was openly cheating on her. Everyone knew he was cheating on her, and she was like, that's my man, that's my king, I will not leave him. This storyline comes full circle now during the season 3 reunion, where we find out that one of the times that Trevor allegedly cheated, it was a lie, right? It was set up by Emmy and Will to like get back at Maddie, to like terrorize her. It's all unclear. The whole thing was a little bit messy for me. I don't like when like off-screen stuff makes it onto the screen. If it's not like, if there's not a through line and it's not completed properly, then it doesn't really work for me in the narrative. I'm like, what is the actual tea? Like, you guys lied about it, then say that on camera. Don't tell her off camera and then have her show up crying on camera. They robbed us of that moment. It's interesting because I feel like so much happened this season and there are so many characters on the show. And then now at the reunion, like, no one spoke, right? Molly and Lake barely spoke. I like Lake. I think she's interesting. But when it comes to our four sort of main characters of the season, aside from Maddie and Joe, with Michaels, we get a really, really interesting story of what it means to be queer. His mom is not talking to him because he like came out. He is struggling with his sexuality. He's struggling. They had a really, really, really good conversation about race and sexuality, where he talks about how, like, even if he does date someone, they don't want to end up with someone who's not white, which is really, really powerful. I appreciate him like talking about that openly. TJ is still like trapped in this cycle of desperation and weirdness, right? Like, he's in love with Joe Bradley, but he can't have him. So he's trying to tear down his relationship with Maddie. He's lying about him. He's telling the truth about him. It's all very unclear, but it is clear that TJ is deeply unwell. And like, I don't know if the show is good for him, right? But again, we're going back to that Southern Gothic thing where it's like the show might not be good for him, but he's not leaving the show, right? So these two are interesting foils for each other in that way, where they are losing their minds, right? He's becoming more evil and like jaded. She's absolutely off her rocker. And it's like, you guys are being corrupted by the show. You're being curdled by the show. The show is the Gothic. The show is the cage that they're all trapped in, right? Emmy doesn't see a future for herself outside of being Will's wife. She has no ambition other than marrying him and having his kids. Whereas, like, she's foiled by Maddie, who wants to be like the best DJ in the world. She wants to travel. She wants to like have it all. It is very obvious that Maddie is bigger than the relationship with Joe, but like, he doesn't see it yet. And it's kind of obvious if you watch the show, but no one is saying it. There could be an interesting thread here about how women in this city, right? I'm not going to say women in the South, but like women in Charleston are very specifically being like, I want to find a guy and I want to like settle down. And Maddie is interesting because she's not from here, right? She's from New York. She is from a city where people hustle, where people are like really ambitious. And the only thing that she cares about is like getting her career off the ground and getting the fuck out of this city. Whereas Grace Lilly is talking about how she wants to like be a model and start a clothing company and do all of this stuff. And everyone laughed at her, right? That was a really interesting moment at the reunion where they don't take her seriously. They don't take her ambition seriously. They don't take her dream seriously. And it's like, Grace Lilly is she's kind of a mess, but she's really sweet and really cute and really fun. And she has star power. She has star potential, but she also isn't like wielding it, right? She's been on the show for 3 years and she's still like not doing anything. I don't know where the show goes from here because it's clear that everyone is sort of reaching a boiling point. Like, they are all lobsters in the pot and the heat is turning up and up and up and up. And like, I don't know. It's like, we're going to watch all of these people crack one way or another. I think these two have already cracked, but like, I'm very intrigued and I need season 4.